That's just what we're trying to do, is we're trying to help people get the most out of what they've got instead of having to buy a new planter. Maybe we can get some of these older ones. I'm not saying that it's needed, but if we can turn every planter into a precision type planter without having to add the speed tube and things like that, because we take the vibration out of that row unit, I think we're going to be better off. Because the concept of this planter on the ground attachments, from the opening to the closing, the V-style closing wheels, the double disc openers, you know, it was designed in 69, 68, 69, somewhere in the late 60s. John Deere started selling it in the early 70s, and we've had White and some others copy them, but nothing's really changed. I mean, we've changed the way some of the things work. We've changed the way our seed's delivered. We've changed the way our gauge wheels oscillate now, and a few things like that, but we've never changed the opening and closing attachments. We might have put some different wheels on, but the thing I like about what we've done here with this 4-link closer is that we've been thinking outside the box and gotten away from that swing arm design, that the wheels are always, pitch is always changing on them, so we don't have the wheel bearing issues putting press tire bearings in. But with this, that pitch of that wheel never changes. The contact point on that wheel never changes. It stays in the same spot because those two wheels are working with each other together instead of against each other anymore. And that was our whole concept behind this, is, hey, why not have another parallel linkage on this, take the stress off the row unit. So if we're out there bounding down, we're quieting the ass into the row unit down, we're not vibrating that seed tube and the seed meter so much, then maybe our stand, our accuracy is going to come back. You know, we've changed a lot of different things over the years, the way our seed's delivered, the way our seed's placed. But if we don't have to spend the money putting a speed tube or a brush meter on, or a brush tube on, and we can get by doing something like this and saving ourselves, you know, $1,500 to $2,000 a row, isn't it worth it? The nice thing about this setup is it leaves that furrow, it completely takes the air pockets out, but it leaves it so mellow that seedling doesn't have to force its way through. It comes up and through. And Lynn, how deep were you planting corn this year?
I was planting it 3 inches whenever possible, when I could.
Okay.
So it wasn't too hard with the mud this year.
No, it wasn't, but in normal years too?
In normal years, I try to run 2.5 to 3 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you don't want to pack the top of it and make it hard for it to come up. And these things run right beside the row, completely obliterating the seed furrow, and leaves it completely mellow. And I planted in conditions that I would call any other year we wouldn't have been able to go. It would have been a mess. Yep. And in fact, out here I took it out to take a video of it one day, and I was afraid it was too wet. We took the video of it, and these things were running clean, and it was complete no-till. These things were running completely clean, but I turned around at the end of the field and went to come back, and it was so slick and mucky that I couldn't make the planter plant. We just had to quit. But these things were still doing a perfect job behind the planter.
They weren't making concrete out of the ground, were they?
No, they were not.
And that's the nice thing about that. In wetter conditions, you have a tendency to make concrete out of that, so it either cracks back open or it dries out and it gets rock hard, and your seedling has to go around those clods and stuff. And with this setup, it eliminates 99% of that problem. We're not having the thing with side to side. We don't have the bearing issues because the wheels are never changing pitch. With that swing arm design, we would go down, the pitch of our wheels would get narrower. As we go up, the contact point moves further forward on the wheel, so they get wider. That's why we always have bearing issues on those V-closing wheels, is because the pitch of the wheels is changing because our contact point changes. With this setup, our contact point is still the very bottom, so the pitch of the wheel never changes. It is the constant control, so we're keeping consistent depth control, we're keeping consistent down pressure, because we're never leaving that soil surface.
Correct.
With this walking beam setup, so we're always closing on both sides. The first one closes first without any competition from the rear one, then the rear one comes along and finishes closing it. So you'll see dirt shoved from one side clear across. Then when you come to the other one, it shoves it from clear across to the other
You're
side.
not getting caught in rip balls. Before you'd get caught in a rip ball in a no-till
Build up.
situation, and you
Yep.
build up and you win.
Or with a swing arm design, as that thing's swinging up and down back there. If
You're
you
not
get to
getting-
get a rip ball under one wheel, what's it do to the other side?
You're not going to plant there.
Yeah, it picks it up because then you won't get that CV closed.
Exactly.
It just works a lot better.
So we're just ensuring a good seed to soil contact with this setup, aren't we, gentlemen?
Yes,
Yep,
we
I
are.
agree. It's got the best stand we've ever had, literally.